Hi guys, it's going to be part 2 for this beautiful picture that Christine does in her Etsy shop. If you've seen part 1, this is what we ended up with, and we are going to try to do the flourishes, the little braiding, and the internal parts here. I did want to say that I did, on the edges here, add a little bit of rusty hinge, which is kind of a red tone, to go with the red tones in here, and I think I want to bring some of that in here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little stencil I had earlier and lay it down and add some of that in here just to brighten it up. And I'm going to do the same thing as going on the stencil part and then going into the paper just to bring some of that color in. And like I said, it's kind of a reddish tone, a rusty hinge. And I'm just going to bring it in here and there. And maybe a little more up here at the top. There we go. You'll notice that already added a little bit of depth there. I thought about putting it in here, but I'm not sure if that would just darken the whole kit and caboodle up even more than it was. But I will try this little corner down here. And if I don't like it, well, I'll just have to do one other little corner. So just kind of add a little in here, just on the very corner part. I'm kind of just dabbing it in there so it'll add a little bit of color. And we'll go up on the top. Hoping you can see this because the camera's way up there and I'm not sure what you're seeing and what you're not seeing. I'm gonna just add some into the corners over here too. And this corner over here. Like that. Okay, it just adds a little bit of coloring in there. I'm also going to use this particular color for the inside of these flowers. So while I have it out, I will try to find a tool with these nice little mini detail tools, and I'm just going to kind of dab it on these little parts. I'm not trying to be too terribly great, but I want to have some of that color in there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is bring you down. I'm going to let that dry. We are going to work on the braiding here, so I'll get you a little closer to that. Now my original plan or thought, I mean if you've seen this a couple times, I was going to do this in the alcohol markers that I have, but I am still not really good at them yet. As you can tell, this is kind of muddy looking. So I'm going to go ahead and just use pencil on it and kind of do a, and since I've got some of this color in here, this is the raw umber. I'm just going to kind of put the color down in this little V in here on all of these, which is going to take some time, but that's what it's all about when you color, right? Taking your time and enjoying it. So I'll go all the way around doing it with that color, which is the raw umber, and that is 180. And then a little of the Van Dyke, or I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, brown, 176. And we're just going to add a little bit of that down in there. Okay. Blend it back in with the raw umber. And just on this edge, we're going to bring a little of that color up, leaving an area in there that's light. I'm going to go all the way around doing that, and then I'll come back and I'll do the other side of it. And around we go. I'll be back so you don't have to watch me do all of this. But that's how I'm going to do it, is just go around. Blend it in, and then I can bring in the cream that I used, and this is a Prismacolor, and just kind of put that in the highlighted area. And blend it in a little more. And I'll get it blended a little bit better. Either get you down further so my head isn't in the way. I don't think you like looking at the top of my head. I know I get it in camera sometimes, but my vision's not all that good. I shouldn't say it like that. I am nearsighted, so in order to see things, I must take my glasses off so I can get down and see what I'm doing. So, and since this is a tiny little area, we just keep going back and forth and doing this. And like I said, this is going to get boring for you after a while. So, just show you a couple more of them. And then I will go ahead and do the rest of these off camera. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I finished the braiding that goes around nicely browned area, and I'm going to work on some of these little leaves up here. Since you are in this area, we'll try to work on one of these. And I'm going to bring in some of the greens. I don't want to make it too bright, so we're going to go with the, let's see, I'll bring out what I've got in green bills. I'm going to go with the pine green, but it's kind of a bluish green. We have a green, earth green yellowish. What a name. It's 168. And then we have light green, which is 171, and of course the pine green, which is 267. I'm going to put a little yellow and stuff in there too, so we're going to see what we can do here with this. Okay, well, I'm actually going to start with a ochre, dark Naples ochre 184, and I'm going to kind of go lightly in some areas, give this a little bit brighter look, and work my way down. Kind of going to do the same on all of the leaves, kind of give them a fallish kind of look. Don't want them too bright. Just kind of here and there with this color, lightly. And we'll do the bottom leaves off camera, so we'll get that one done, and then we'll go to the next. Okay, we're going to go in with some of the burnt ochre, which is ochre 187, and we're just going to darken some areas here. Okay, back. The telephone rang, and sorry about that. So I'm just bringing this color in, putting it in the shadowy areas. Around the berries, just kind of lightly going over it, some pressure just around the berry area. And the stems here. Okay, Okay, the Van Dyke Brown 176, and we're going to add it down in the base down here. Darken up the bottom of the leaf a little bit. Extra shadowing. We'll do that leaf later. Bring it up. And that here is a little bud to make it a little greener. Can't really see that terribly well, but we're just blending, so. Okay, and then the dark red, which is 225, and we're going to add some of that in also on the tip of the leaves here, bringing it in. Different spots. Okay. Don't want them too red, but wanted enough red in there. And then we are going to get another color. We're going to take the cadmium yellow and kind of go in here and brighten up some areas and blend the red in a little bit. Oops, just a little harder pressure than I was putting in on the other ones. Just to bring in that red a bit. Okay, then we're going to bring in a little tiny bit of the orange, cadmium orange. Put that on top of that red also. Bringing it in a little bit more. And we got a nice fall leaf here, and I need to add some green. So we're gonna go with, let me see. Yeah, that'll work. This is The one with the nice name, Earth Green Yellowish, 168. And we're going to go ahead and add this in. Earth Green Yellowish. Wonder who came up with the name. Okay, so we have these nice fall kind of leaves here. Some green, oranges, and everything else. And yeah, I've got leaves to do down the bottom too, but I'm going to get the darkest green I have. I need to put these someplace so they don't roll off my desk. I need to see if I can sharpen this to a real point. And we're going to go in and add some veins to these leaves. Where I can. I might want to do this with a brown. Let's see. Don't really want to do it with a black. We have here walnut brown. That probably will work. It's a little better. The dark green's not really showing up. So we'll just go back over those. And we'll add in the veins like that. And with this, I'll also darken a few areas. Okay, and then we'll just keep working on the leaves like that. Putting in little details like that. So I'll work on those and then I'll get back to you when I've finished all the leaves, and then we will go ahead and work on the flowers and the berries. So I'll see you in a little bit when I get all the leaves done. Okay, as you can see, I am done with my leaves, and I started on a flower. Thought I was recording, but I wasn't. I'm doing these the same as I did out here. So we're just taking the reds and we're coloring in the flower, going all the way to the edge of the petals, and then darkening it in towards the middle. Going with the other red and darken it up. Okay, then we're going to add the orange in the center. We'll add a few of the little dots here and put them on the little stamen pieces, which we didn't have in the other flowers. That's the only new part. And then we're going to take the Posca and do the same thing with the petals. And up and around this one. And down through this one. Just kind of giving it a nice little wiggle through the petal area. So that is what the flowers are going to look like. Now the berries are going to be a different color, and they are going to be about the same color as the butterfly. So I will go ahead and finish up the rest of these little flowers, and I will show you what that looks like when I come back. Okay, we're going to work on the berries, and I've done a couple of them here. One in the blackberry kind of colors, and one in red, because I want to get the colors kind of cohesive here. And blackberries do have red berries in them, and they also have green, depending on their maturity, I guess is what you call it. You know, they start off green, then they turn red, then they turn purple-black. So I'm using that kind of as my base. I had to switch to Prismacolors because I do not have these colors in my polychromos. And I got this inspiration off of another channel, and I'm not going to pronounce her name right. It's D-A-V-L-I-N-A art, so Davlina art. I'll leave a link down below to the video, and she did berries in the Daydreams book by Hannah Carlson, and I didn't really know how to do them, so I took inspiration off of hers. So these are her colors, not mine. I'd like to make sure you know that. Okay, so she started off with Black Grape, which was 996, then used Dahlia Purple 1009, and Processed Red 994 for the purple grape, or purple grape. It's a purple berry. And when she did the red berry, she went with the Christmas Lake that's 925, and then the poppy red, which is 922, and then a white, which is, you know, your basic white, 938, and it's to give it little highlights. I threw in this color because I wanted it a little darker, and so I put in Black Raspberry 1095. She didn't use this one, but I'm going to use it. So I'll go ahead and show you the process that it's done in. I'll do one purple and one red. So we'll start off with a purple. Now I'm kind of going to variegate the colors. So if I have a purple one here, I don't want to have, you know, 7 purple ones down at the bottom and then all the red ones at the top. So I kind of marked a couple that I wanted to put the different colors in. So we're going to do this one here in purple. And I'm going to turn the paper just because it's going to be easier for me to figure out how to put the shading in. So we're going to go ahead with the black grape, and you have to have a kind of a sharp pencil for this, and I'm going to get you down. Sorry. And we're going to go in to the dark areas and go around and kind of leaving a white spot in there. When you get to the ones on the sides, it's okay to fill them in a little more or all the way. You don't really need a shine on those too much. So we just go through every little berry, putting the dark one down and leaving a little bit of the paper showing. And they're kind of tedious only because it's a lot of little berries. And like I said, the ones on the edges don't have to have as much white in them because the berry is round. And you don't want them all to look uniform either, because then you'd have like a little bookcase of berries here. So you want to have them all a little different. Maybe some with a little more paper showing, some with no paper showing, some with paper showing in a different spot. So light will hit all these little berry pieces different. So basically you do it all like that. Down here at the bottom though, the bottom ones aren't going to carry as much light because they're smaller. So we'll go ahead and darken those up. The process for the red berry is going to be the same, so grab a cup of coffee or something while you're watching. Almost done here with this color. And Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because the berry is going to be colored over with a couple of colors. Okay, let's lay down. And then the next color we're going to go in with is the Dahlia Purple. And then you just kind of go over the same area and bring it in a little bit. So you get a lighter color. And up towards the top you can put a little more in. You do want to go over the other berries so they all have the same color on them. Leave some with more white. Some can have all this in there. A little easier putting this one on. Okay, now we're going to go in with the processed red. And then cover up some of the centers in here. And there we have our blackberry. Now, if you want, you could go in with the white and brighten up some areas that you think would look nicer brightened up. Just because berry has a nice shine to it. So I did these two the same, and I'll be kind of booming them up through there. Now I'm going to show you the red one. And since we're going to do a red one up here, I'll show you the tiny one. Won't take as long. Okay, what I did was I followed her instructions with a crimson lake on it first. But then I went in and I darkened this whole area with the black raspberry. So I'm going to take that in here because I liked it just a little less bright red. So it's kind of like using the dark grape one. And the reason I set a sharp point on these is so you can get into these tiny little places that the little berries go into. Then I'll go back in with the Crimson Lake. Just kind of go over what I just colored in with the black raspberry. And on these, you use the poppy red to highlight them. leaving a little bit of white or paper, whichever you prefer to use, call it, in there. You want to make sure it covers. Okay, and then we just come in with the white and kind of add it here and there. It also blends in the colors. Just like that, and then you have a red berry. So 1 red berry, 2 red berries. This one's a little bright there, so I'm gonna darken that one up a little so you can play with these all you want. So there we go. We're gonna just finish the berries out, and I'll do that off camera so you don't have to watch each little berry done. And then I'll come back and we'll do these little side pieces. Okay, we're done with the little berries, and that's what those guys look like. And I think we're going to go ahead and start on the butterfly here. And I'm going to kind of bring some of these purples into the butterfly, because just having some purple sitting there looks kind of funny. So I'm going to use the same basic colors. So the dahlia purple and the black grape and the process red. And we're going to start with the black grape down here in this area and bring it up into the wings. Now the wings have got like a darker area in their little scallops, so I'm going to make that more prominent. With the darkest color, and then I'm just going to bring that dark color up into the wing. And we're going to do the same on the back side. So we'll follow the scallop to where it needs to be. And then bring the purple up. These are just light flicks of the pencil. Okay, then we're going to go in with the dahlia purple and kind of do the same thing. And then flick it out. Okay, I'm going to come in with the process red. Okay, we're just adding this in towards the top and bringing it down. We'll probably go all the way to the top up here. And blend it all the way into the other color. And the same on the back. Kind of work at it until you like the coloring. I'm going to go back in with the black crepe around the body area and get it a little darker down here. And then on our little guy, we'll kind of give him a little purple down here on his underside. And then we'll go in with let's just keep him in the purple. Do his stripes in the red. The dahlia purple. And then we'll go in with the process red again. And then like a little tail, I'm going to try to get some stripes of the other color. So we'll start with the black raspberry, and we'll just try to jump right into the poppy red colored thing, because they're not very big stripes. Oh, he's got a little red in him. So that's looking pretty good. Then we'll go ahead and the little flowers down here, I went ahead and put in on this one a little coloring. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, show you how I did that. That was done with the black raspberry. Kind of coming in at the top of the ones that are closest, very lightly, tiny bit darker in the corner, and then the ones on the sides here, I went in on this side and brought it up. And then again, just kind of did them the opposite way. just blended it all in with the white. No, sorry, cream. I did cream. And then if you need to touch up anything, you just go back in with the original color. Like that, so that's how those got done. Kind of added the reddish color down in there. Now I did attempt to color this purple, and I did not like it, so I erased it. My prerogative. And I'm debating about making this panel behind it wood, so I put in a few lines, and I'm still thinking about it, so I haven't decided. So on the swirls, because this one is pink, I have to decide if I want to do that in the red colors, like the berries, or go back in with the blue, and I'm thinking I will go with the red. So that is the black raspberry. I'm going to get you down here just a little bit closer so we can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to put the raspberry around the sides here, going up. And then I'm going to bring it down. And into the little tail that we have here. Add a little more pressure. Okay, then the next color we used is the Crimson Lake. So a little of that in here. Okay, and then the last color is the poppy red. Not usually the colors I use, but it works. Covered up the pink. Add a little bit of the white in the center here and blend it. And kind of bring it down a little. Then we'll go back in with the black raspberry and just define this line a little more. Now when I erased, I did mess up this coloring a little bit. So we're just going to add a little dark umber under here. And maybe maybe a little in here too. Okay, so that'll look nice in there. And then I think I will add a wood green, and all I have to do is add in the lines across here. And I might even darken that up a little bit. So I will go ahead and finish all the little swirls in this color, and then I will be back and show you what that looks like. And then I will do the woodwork here. Okay, so I've gotten the red areas done. Still debating about the wood green, but I think it would look nice. All I would be doing in that would be taking some browns, stay pencil, stay, and get you down a little, say like dark umber, and kind of giving myself a line area here so I can see a little bit better, and kind of bringing a line through here. And the nice thing about wood is it's not even, so you really don't have to go through here terribly straight. And if you wanted to, you could put in like a knot hole here. And just kind of some ziggy green colors. And basically that's what I'm going to do through here. I'm holding the pencil way at the end so I don't have much control over it. The reason I'm blocking this off is because my eyes are need to be concentrated on this piece. So just kind of find a spot and make a zigzag and then do a line down below it. And just kind of let it flow where it wants to flow. Trying to keep the green in a linear motion there. Okay, so you kind of get the hint there. And all I'm going to do with coloring that is put another color that is a little lighter around it and kind of exaggerate those lines. Make them a little longer or a little shorter, whatever you feel like. And you're going to use like 4 or 5 different colors of browns, maybe adding a couple of tones that have some yellow in it. And any marks that you didn't get real heavy in here, you can always add a few more in with the secondary color. So exaggerate it a little bit, make them longer, make them smaller, and you just keep adding them in. And I've already gotten it dark on the sides going in, so I don't need to do anything there. I just need to add the lines in here. Like I said, just pick out some brown colors. This one's raw umber. And that's all I'm going to do is add them in, kind of giving the idea that there's some wood grain under and behind this. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just the idea of having it there. And then we'll get a darker color and add that one in. And this one here is going to be the walnut. So if there's anywhere that I thought I would want like a knot in the wood, we'll just add one there. We'll put something here that it can go around. Just adding a few more lines in here. So I'll keep going at that. I'm also, because we're putting in a wood plank, I'm going to add two little nails. So just two little dots here. And then we'll add a little black to that. And we'll add those on both sides. And when, of course, you put a nail in, you might want to put some like indentation marks around the nail. So that's what I'm going to do on all of the sides underneath that. So I'll come back when I've got all the lines down. Okay, so the wood grain is done, and like I said, it's just those squiggly little lines, and that's how that looks. And I put the little nails in. The only thing I have left to do is the butterfly around the edges, and still running back and forth whether I should do it in black, which I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to get out a Faber-Castell line brush, but I have to find one that I can actually use. That's a brush tip, and I don't know if I want to do that. So this one is a small, so the nib on that is a really tiny little thing, but that will help me out, I think. And we'll get you down closer here, and we're just going to color in the darkness of the wings here with the black. Debating if I should just leave those or if I should color over them. I can always put them back in with the Posca pen. I'm going to bring that tip out a little bit. Give him a butterfly, and even if it's a moth, every moth wants to be a butterfly, so I'm letting him be one today. We're just going to give him some fancier wings. At least the tips. It'd be so much easier if I just colored those over. I'm leaving kind of a little white line in there, giving me the separation between the two wings, so I know where it is. I probably could have gotten a bigger pen than this one, but going around these little circles, I kind of need it this small. Okay, now to the back. And we're going to do the same thing here. And we're going to give him a bigger tail piece here. And then down his little backside here. And if there's anything in here I want to darken, like maybe this line a little, I can bring this in and do it at the same time. We'll do his little eye. And we might darken up his connection pieces a little. There we go. And now I'm going to probably in the little dotted areas go in with some stickles, and I will add some glitter in every one of the flowers. Oh, I have to do the stem work here. The stem work is going to be done with umpteen shades of the browns and the greens. So the same browns and greens that I used in the leaves, I'm going to use coming down in the stems. So if you remember the numbers, I'll try to remember to put them in the description box, but I might not be able to this time. So this one is the Burnt Ochre 187, and I'm just kind of adding it here and there. And this area down here is already dark, so we'll just kind of add it in. And just switch back and forth. I'm going to lift you up so you can see this a little better, so I'm not missing a whole bunch of pieces in here. This is the Raw Umber 180, and we're just going to add it in here and there, up towards the top, in any of the, this is just a willy-nilly kind of thing, where you think you need some color. We're going to throw in the earth green yellowish, and we're just going to stick it in areas. And we're just going to go back and forth doing this until all the areas are filled. This one is the light green. I'm just going over the top of everything so it will just look like it's all meant to look like that. And then I'll throw in some browns, so we'll get the, which one is this? The Raw Umber, did I already use that one? We'll just get a dark umber here. This is a Prismacolor, so I'm just going to add it in some shady areas, branches that are behind. See this branch down on the tree, and this one needs to kind of be shadowed a little bit, so we'll add it in there. And then we'll add another color on top. Until all the space is filled up. And there we go. Okay, the last thing I need to do is I'm going to add some water into the distressed ink that is in the background in the oval and give it a splattered effect. And since I don't want to get the border, I'm going to put my little piece back on here. And I'm also going to put the other piece I had on it at the same time, trying to keep the water only in the oval part. Okay, and I'm going to spray it with just plain old water. This is a distress sprayer, which means it doesn't give you a fine mist spray, it actually gives you splatters. And then I'm going to wipe it up with my handy dandy craft washcloth. So what I'm going to do is kind of hold this down and give this a little spray. On the sides, and I'm going to count myself to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I just dab it up. And I know I colored over it with some pencils, so the splattering effect is not going to be as pronounced, but we're going to get some anyway. So I'm going to put a little more up here. And count again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And dab it up. Okay. And we get this little splattering effect on the ink. And when I take this away, you'll kind of see what I mean by that. And when it dries, it'll actually dry a lot lighter. So all these little dots kind of gives it that vintage look that I'm after. Now I could splatter this with white, but I like it the way it is. So I am just going to put in my stickles in the little dots around here in the flowers, probably on the little nails, blah blah blah. You will see it at the end of the video. So it'll just go in every little spot that I can figure out. And I'm going to do it with the diamond where diamond stickles. So that's what they look like. They have a kind of a golden color to it. They come in all different brands. Like this one's crystal, and it has more greens in it. And they have a whole bunch of other clear ones. They'll have a different tone to them. I like this one for anything with a brown background because of the gold. And it just open it up and, ooh, it's a big bubble. Wipe that off. Just put it in the dots. Should really wait for that water to dry, but while you're here, I'll go ahead and put these in. Bigger dots there. This particular one looks really good on black too. Okay, so we're just going to go in and tap it on the dots. You don't need too much of it. The reason I like the stickles, other than the colors that it gives out, is that they dry semi-flat. They don't puff up like some glitter glues do. Okay, we're going to go in the center of the flowers and put some out here on those little stamen that didn't really show up too much with the yellow color I put on. So in the middle and out here a little bit. Okay, on all the flowers we're going to do that. That includes the little ones out here on each middle, and then the one in the very corner. We're just going to rub it in the center. And you can see how that glitters when I'm on camera, hopefully. And so we'll just go around and do that on every single one of these. And I'm going to put it on the nails, just because. In the center of this guy. Now this has to dry, but I'm going to do it on camera for you to see. Hopefully I'm in camera. Last little corner here. Got that, okay. Do I have everybody? I think I do. Oh, the little butterfly's antenna. And then we'll give him a little shine down here. I'm trying to get it just in the reddish color so he sparkles a little more. Okay, so I'll lift it up a little so you can see where I put the sparkle. At the top and on the nails and things. Okay, I'll take a picture of this at the end, and I will, after it dries, put this video up for you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. If you like this kind of video, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the little bell. You'll get notifications. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.